Well, every night I go out running or riding my bike. I like the sweat, I like the flow I get. I like the feeling of the night air hitting my lungs. I like the feeling of rain while sticking out my tongue. Sometimes I like to pretend I'm on a secret mission. Sometimes I'm just making sure there's not something out there happening that I'm missing. And I swear to you, I get a real high from it. Fuck alcohol and fuck all that shit and fuck TV. Let's meet up with our bikes down by the old train bridge. I'll race you downtown and I'll show you what you missed from inside. And let's live our lives tonight. Let's ride our bikes into the night. And let's live our lives tonight.
All right, here we are again. Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Garret Schuelke podcast. I am your host, Garret Schuelke, and we're back here in Kalamazoo. It's a beautiful October day. Sweater weather is finally here, meaning it's not like 78 degrees in the fall. We're sweating our asses off. Thank God. And I'm here once again with Zach Elmblad. And,
Yo.
It's going to be another one of those episodes.
I'm going to try not to derail the conversation too much today.
Yeah, it'll happen. It always happens with us.
Yeah, my first interjection, in fact, is that Garrett has actually come, prepared with printed materials today. I think there's, things that we're going to talk about, and he has a fucking agenda. You guys, I don't know what is going to go on today.
My fucking mission.
All right, I will remain silent and let him continue this introduction.
No, we're done. I mean, introductions, LOL. At least for these ones.
Right.
Everyone knows you by now.
Hi, I'm Zach.
Matter of fact, you kind of get, on average, the most listens to.
It's just me
Anchor.
listening to it over and over again.
Oh, it is? Oh, that's good. Isn't that what some people claim they do? I just play it over and over again. I don't even listen to it. Just put it on off.
No, I try to listen to it. I try to listen to the other ones as well. I mean, I consume a great deal of audio content as I'm driving, so I listen to a lot of people's podcasts that probably don't expect I listen to their podcasts. Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about some of your favorites that we talked about, last podcast on the left, Hardcore History.
Sure.
What is one that you've listened to that I would not expect?
Someone Knows Something.
Oh,
It's a Canadian broadcasting one. I think there's a new host, but the original host was just excellent. It was really good. That one was good. What else? I don't know. I got some weird ones. My phone's here conveniently. Let's look. I will make one mention in that since I stopped using Stitcher a long time ago, it's been really difficult to have all my podcasts in one place, and I'm actually losing track of a lot of them because of how many there are, and sometimes they'll only go on for a few episodes, and then they kind of just get buried in the feed. So I'm using Spotify mostly right now, but yeah, if you find any recommendations, or you know of anything that works really well for you as an aggregator?
Personally, since I don't have the data plan on my phone or anything, I prefer to download my podcasts into a MP3 player.
Okay.
And listen to them at work or in my car. Yeah, it's become a nightly ritual, in fact, over the years.
Right on.
At night, I'll just download all the episodes for the next day of work.
Fair enough. Okay. I know you and I have talked about several of these. I know Behind the Bastards is one of your favorites.
They did a great episode recently, the second recent one. They covered Amway.
No, perfect. Local heroes.
Yep,
Amway.
Grand Rapids, local heroes, which are totally not a pyramid scheme. It's not a bunch of words I got to put on because I guess Amway will sue the fuck out of you if you straight up call them that.
Right.
So they're an alleged scheme.
One that I really like that's kind of it's sort of similar but in a different way. I guess it's the narration style, but there's one called Darknet Diaries that's all about like dark web stuff.
Yeah, they deal with a lot of internet stuff,
yeah,
hacking, international crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, my personal favorites are like whenever he has stories of guys who like have to do like security,
the infiltrations.
Yeah,
those are definitely the best ones.
It's just insane, like how they do it. Like they get in,
just like tricking people to get in the building. And stuff.
They straight up just steal trucks. Then they come back, be like, "Hey, guys, got some news for you."
I'd say my last one here, going through my feed, this is a good one to mention because a lot of people probably wouldn't assume that I listen to this, but my brother Dan actually turned me onto this podcast, and it's The Adventure Zone, which is three brothers that they have many podcasts. They're like podcasting entrepreneurs in the same way that the guys from Last Podcast on the Left are. Oh. But they actually do these Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. And their first season, dude, is some of the most compelling audio content that exists. Because it's like the brothers being like having their family dynamic, and their dad plays it with them too. But they're having their family dynamic through this storytelling that's freaking amazing. And the Dungeon Master kid like writes all the music for it and like cuts it into a like really, really compelling podcast. And I want to say there's like 45 episodes in the first season. I'll name drop this shit.
That reminds me, there was a Dungeons and Dragons comedy podcast that I never really listened to, but I did follow their group for a while. I think it was called Four Guys, One Dungeon.
Nice.
And it's just them talking about D&D, and like it only went on for like 4 episodes, for not that long. And just like them playing it and being all exaggerated about it, like, oh, you sprung my trap or some bullshit.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, there's many Dungeons and Dragons podcasts. This one I like because, you know, I have 2 brothers, so like it reminds me of like talking to my brothers and like bullshitting with my dad at the kitchen table and stuff. I see a lot of us in them, but also like the story is just amazing. That first one, which I believe was called Amnesty when I was looking back through there. But I mean, all their stuff is worth a listen. They switched up narrators, just to be brief. They switched up narrators a couple of times, and I didn't find those ones as personally compelling. Their newest one is awesome. I haven't had much of a chance to listen to it, but their first season, as it were, or their first game, dude, it's like turned into a graphic novel. Like it got them really, really popular. It's a really, really, really good audio content. That's my weird recommendation for you.
My weird recommendation, I kind of take a break from listening to them because there's about 3 podcasts I'm like nearly finished listening to, like the entire thing or up to the entire thing or like up to like the most recent episode. So I'm trying to like marathon through them. That's another thing, like at my job and everything. Besides listening to it, I kind of try and make it so it's like, okay, I can finish this series by this date. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to be at this job forever, so, you know, I got to do something to keep it interesting in some way.
When the job is forever, do they call it a career?
Well, I guess so. Granted, I believe the climate apocalypse will hit us sometime soon, so I'm not really looking forward to retiring because there's probably going to be no retirement. Because we're all going to be dead or fighting super mutants.
Or just working until you're 106.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the way company towns are starting to pop up again.
Yeah, what a wonderful future we all have for ourselves.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, man.
Can't wait for the company towns to start showing up. And they're like the only places of refuge. You gotta go work for Amazon again.
Fuck yeah, dude. Slap me right into the dystopian future. Like,
funny enough, last time there were company towns were pre and during the Great Depression. Mm-hmm. Isn't that great? And we're probably heading for another one in like a few days now.
Everything is
if they do not raise the debt ceiling, Joe Biden.
I think they're gonna do that. I mean, we talked about that earlier. It's probably gonna happen. Like, I guess, wouldn't it be interesting, kind of like the Evergrande thing in China? What if they were just like, you know what, fuck it. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to do it this time. What now? What now, bitch?
What?
Right? Yeah.
Fuck you gonna do?
Like, they're like, what are we going to do? Tweet about it? Like,
yeah. Hey, I'm ready for Great Depression too. How about you,
yeah, bring it on, bitch. All these people have, you know, they have yachts. Like, they can just go live in the ocean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they kind of did that last year with when the quarantine started happening. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to go quarantine on my boat. I'm on my way to Turkey for an exotic vacation. But you just put on this fucking mask, even though I say it doesn't actually work. Go to your day job.
Yep. Many facets of the diamond that is society have been revealed to us as our world grinds us down.
Actually, there is one more podcast recommendation. I recommended it before. It's called It Could Happen Here. Robert Evans, so Behind the Bastard, hosts it. The first season was basically very straightforward, you know, how he imagined a civil war in America would be like.
Okay.
And it's just basically it's dystopian Mad Max kind of shit. His second one is a little more eclectic. I mean, the main focus is going to be on climate change and climate catastrophes, which we're all experiencing right now in one way or another.
Nah, climate change is a lie.
Oh, yeah. If you believe climate change, you are dumb and gay.
Oh, yikes.
It's true, though.
Demonetized.
They demonetize him for speaking the truth. Now, go enjoy hiking in the forests of California. We are totally not on fire right now. But, no, so that's the main focus, but he's doing it like weekly instead of like a set series where it's like a set number of episodes. There's like episodes on a particular topic where it's just him talking about it and maybe framing it around like a fictional story. And sometimes he has like interviews with certain people. He even brings in like people from like his other shows like Behind the Bastards and Worst Year Ever. It can kind of get comedic like those shows as they talk about a serious topic. And of course, they also talk about like topics related to like the first season, like talk about like, you know, Proud Boys, you know, doing their usual shit, or more right-wing uprisings and that. So the second season does have like a focus, but it's more eclectic than the first one.
Okay.
So I would recommend the current ongoing second season of It Could Happen Here.
It Could Happen Here. All right.
Also, what really surprised me, too, is that the first season, it was just a complete fucking black pill. Like, America has fallen, you know, it's the Mad Max world and that.
It's easy to read it like that.
Yeah, whereas this one, and it kind of makes sense, you know, climate change is not good just, I mean, it hits you hard. It hits hard, obviously, as we've seen, but it's more but they more framed it around certain aspects, like, you know, you can't get certain items, which was kind of funny because that's kind of how it's going right now, but for different reasons. Like, you can't get certain things due to climate change. You're getting in more refugees due to climate change. As he calls it the crumbles. You know, kind of like the Troubles over in Ireland back in the day. But he calls it the crumbles because the infrastructure, our society, isn't just doing one big grand collapse. It's just slowly crumbling.
Yeah, that's really clever. I like
that. And that's really what climate change is really doing if you look at it. It's just chipping away at us.
Yeah.
Like one hurricane at a time.
One flood.
One giant forest fire at a time. One drought.
Yeah. That's wise. I like that.
Yeah. So that's my big recommendation.
Boy. All right.
So how you been, dude?
Ups, downs, all arounds. I'm doing all right, buddy.
Well, this is a good segue to what I want to read here. But tell me, Zach, we didn't meet last month.
Right.
how did you celebrate the 20th anniversary of September 11th?
That's a long time ago. What was that, like 6 weeks ago? Hell,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing.
So you have major rager. That's why you don't.
I'm certain I was working, because that's pretty much what I do. I feel like I definitely did something of note on September 11th this year. Garrett comes prepared to this shit today. I mean, I see Ben Shapiro on one of these.
Stop.
Like,
Don't
I'm
spoil
ready.
it. Spoil it.
What did I do on September 11th? I have to look in my phone now.
Well, I can tell you what I was doing. I just sat in my room and blasted Leftover Crack's Fuck World Trade album all day. No, I did. I was actually in Chicago at the Pitchfork Music Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and much to my surprise, there was like no mention of September 11th. Like, Pitchfork is like the hip indie music festival.
It's old. It was a long time ago. The only picture I have on my phone from September 11th is a bunch of paychecks.
Isn't like a Photoshop of you like looking wistfully at a flag while you reflect about how I miss back how we were on September 12th.
No, it's just me. It's literally just me getting paid. Yep, paychecks, and then a set list for open mic. And then a screen cap of some guy tiling. That's what I got.
Anyway, there's no mention of September 11th at Pitchfork Music Festival. Not even no patriotic things, obviously, because it's the indie hipster stuff. They're not going to do that. No,
it's kind of pandering too, but just not even to a bad audience.
No one doing conspiracy theories. Y'all realize that was an inside job, right?
What is it, Building 7?
Yeah, we're Cement Fridge, and before we start, we just want to tell you that it was all an inside job. Or even jokes, no one did 9/11 LOL Bush did it memes or anything.
Right.
Which has become the norm now. It really has.
Donald Rumsfeld tossed the passport in the rubble.
Yep. Yeah, he fucking died this year too,
I know.
Rest in peace, asshole. But 20 years September 11th.
It's fucking crazy. 20 years.
20 years, and we're still stuck in our post 9/11 hellhole. We probably will too, till the crumbles.
Till something else happens.
Yeah. Until the Mad Max super mutant world arises.
Right.
Then we're gonna be too busy to be like, hey guys, it's the 30th anniversary of 9/11? Dude, this super mutant coming this way. It's fucking huge. Give me the shotgun.
What do you think was more socially disruptive? Pearl Harbor or September 11th?
Oh, September 11th, no doubt.
You think so?
Oh yeah, because they have talked about this before. I think, for one, 9/11 was right here on the mainland, right in New York City.
Yeah. Whereas
Pearl Harbor was off in Hawaii, and not where a lot of people are going, or
right. Or the human casualties weren't as extreme, I don't think.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
And also because 9/11 happened during the start of the digital media age.
Okay.
Right before the social media age.
But even though...
you could see it in real time, shit happening. I remember watching the second tower hit.
Sure. Well, people were finding out about Pearl Harbor in real time, too, though, because of newspaper media.
Oh, yeah.
That was the new thing. Because before, people couldn't even communicate over the course of days. They had to, walk to each other or, drive horses, in Skyrim.
Yeah, but... Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's a big thing between waiting for the kid, X3, read all about it.
Of course. Hey, man, definitely a big difference.
Give me
watching
that.
It on CNN.
Give me that. Yeah. Instead of watching on CNN and Wolf Blitzer being like, oh, shit.
All your arguments are completely valid. I'm posing the question. I'm conflicted.
Also, we're still technically in that post 9/11 world. I don't know. I don't think we could. Post Pearl Harbor world. I would say that ended after World War II.
Maybe, or was like the 1950s and then the subsequent counterculture of the 1960s, were those like the latent effects of the disrupted world from
maybe
from World War II?
Oh yeah,
but of course that's not directly caused by Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
that war was just going on.
That's one thing I always heard whenever like Allen Ginsberg would talk about the Beat Generation is it basically starting like with the explosion of the nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
that started it. Plus the Cold War jacked up then, so you really can't blame Pearl Harbor for us wanting to fight the Soviet Union.
No, not really.
Yeah, so I still think 9/11 had a bigger impact, especially today.
Fair enough, man. Getting down to the facts here on GSP.
Yep. And to celebrate 20 years, here's to another 10. Here's to another 20.
Another 20. September 11th, 2041.
You think we're going to still be here by then?
I'm going to be a head in a fucking bucket, man. I'm going to live forever.
Well, yeah, you and I are going to be in the compound by then.
I'm going to be part of the Neo-Riche CEO, Fortune 500 top executives, Elmblad Media Group CEO, owner Zach Elmblad.
I know, and then when that happens, your secretary will come in and be like, "Sir, a package for you." You look at it and be like, "Wait, Garret Schuelke? I haven't heard from him in ages. I wonder what he has. I wonder what he has for
my fingers get torn by nails in the explosion." He comes out from the broom closet like Smeagol. "I've written another book."
You're like, "Ha! I got you. This is what you get for stealing my copyrights, motherfucker."
No.
Yeah.
You could have your own barony in my building.
Bakun Incorporated becomes the new Freedom Club. For who don't know, Ted Kaczynski, friend of the show, the Unabomber, he would sign his packages as FC, with Santa Freedom Club. And he had like a Mexican pen pal. He would talk about like the Freedom Club believes in liberty and nature.
We can't have a podcast without talking about the Unabomber.
Hey man.
Or 9/11.
Or Insane Clown Posse.
Or breaking the ice.
Either Unabomber or ICP. Which way, Western man?
Have we podcasted since Violent J?
Oh, yeah.
That was part of what we talked about last time, right?
Yeah.
I have this short-term memory. Look at me.
Too much weed.
Or not enough, I guess. I could always try harder.
As Nate Dogg would say, smoke weed every day.
Oh, yeah, several times a day, in fact.
Actually, I think by now he's been long dead. I think that's like his only thing people really know him for.
He had some really awesome blunt wraps.
Oh, he did?
Back in the day, yeah. We'd get him at the old BP on West Main. That's awesome, dude. That place is like a ghost place now.
Oh, you mean it's closed?
Yeah, and not just closed, but like the building has rapidly decayed and looks like it's in a like video game.
Yeah, that's half of Kalamazoo right there.
Yeah, but all the other half is like brand new sky rises. Like, it's really bizarre living here right now, dude. Because you could be driving down the road and all of a sudden what was a parking lot's now a fucking hole that's going to be a 15-story building. It's fucking ridiculous.
Rest assured, you will not be able to afford to live there.
No, I mean, I guess I could be in the future. Like, yeah, I mean...
When you steal my copyright.
Yeah. Or when I parlay your copyright into a beneficial business decision for the both of us, and we both become not wildly rich, but successful enough in order to maintain our daily habits and like continue creating.
You give me enough money just so I can build that cabin.
Either way, I end up with no fingertips. Jam.
I'm sure in the future you get like bionic ones.
I'll have bionic fingertips along with my brain bucket.
Then I'll look at that and be like, create a stronger bomb with both these metal parts. Now, I just want to read you something, dude.
Okay, all right. Here comes the docs.
The 20th... Wait, the docs?
The documents. Like truncated word documents, DOCS.
I thought you meant doxing.
No, not the active verb. Docs.
I mean, I could do that.
No, don't dox me.
There's plenty of people I can do that too. But, no, for this anniversary, I want to read you something special.
All right.
It's something that, quite surprisingly, has stuck in my mind these past years. This was written in October of 2004. Now,
Okay.
Remember that time?
Yeah, I went to Egypt 5 months before that, so I remember that time well. Yeah, I was a complete savage. I was drinking a bunch of Heinekens and sleeping on my floor in October 2004.
Really? I was in high school and shithole Alpena just watching the Bush administration destroy everything.
Yeah, that was the thing at the time.
And I want to read you this thing, and it stuck out of my mind because back in the day, I was a liberal, and part of being a liberal is that you pay attention to right-wing media and you report on it, which I do think is important to some aspects, especially with fascist groups that are violent and that. Mm-hmm. But there's also a side where some is yeah, we know Fox News is bad. Bill O'Reilly's an asshole. Right. You don't have to report that they said some controversial.
Yeah, and you don't have to be antagonistic with their anchors either, yeah.
Well, I guess you could, but it's just after a while, it's why do I care? And that's one reason why, that's one of the things that eventually led me to becoming a socialist, because why am I caring about this stuff?
Folks, the world looks a lot different when you turn off your fucking television.
Yeah, believe it or not, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, back then when I was a liberal, I used to be all about gotta keep an eye on this and that, then report how bad it is. Mm-hmm. And of course, one of them was our good buddy Ben Shapiro. Benny Shapiro, Mr. Facts and Logic. And I just want to read a column that he wrote for Town Hall, which is a right-wing news site. Mm-hmm. And you see, back in the day, this was when Ben Shapiro first came onto the scene. He was brand new. Okay.
Yeah, he would be really young at that point.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a confession here.
All right.
At first, I actually kind of admire Ben Shapiro.
Okay.
You're taking this a lot better than I thought, because I've admitted this to our people, and they freaked the fuck out.
That's what's wrong with a lot of people.
No, until I told them.
Ben Shapiro is a person.
Until I told them why, and then they understood, and they found it terribly funny what I'm about to tell you.
All right.
Okay, Ben Shapiro at the time when I first discovered him, he was actually being hailed as the youngest columnist ever, and I was a guy who I imagined my career path was gonna be a liberal columnist.
Right.
I was basically doing that for my school paper, writing columns, blaming conservatives for everything.
Listening to Rage Against the Machine in your dorm room, just boiling, smelling like a ham.
No. I was still listening Marilyn Manson, Eminem, and shit at the time. Right. Yeah, despite liberal, there's still a lot of fucked up things I said that I regret. I still used to call things gay back then, oh, that's gay. Even though I wasn't homophobic, I actually hated gay people. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Ben Shapiro, I did admire him for a sec there because they talk about how he was the youngest columnist of all time. So I was if he could do it, then I can do it. What I didn't realize at the time was that Ben Shapiro came from a rich family, and he was actually a lawyer by trade before he became a columnist.
Yeah.
Actually,
no lies detected.
Yeah, he actually followed the same path as Ann Coulter. Remember her? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, rich lawyer becomes right-wing firebrand.
Yeah.
And that's what Ben Shapiro really was back then. He was a neocon, obviously. He was basically a male Ann Coulter.
Yeah. So that's East Coast hereditary, oligarchical news media.
Yeah.
Type shenanigans.
Yeah. So anyway, I admire him on that. I totally disagreed with him on everything, but I admire him for that aspect. And I tried to study him. I read 2 of his fucking books. One of them was kind of thing for right-wing people where it's almost kind of like a rite of passage now. Mm-hmm. They have to bitch about colleges indoctrinating you into Marxist doctrine and all that shit. So there was that.
Yeah.
Then he wrote another book after that where he just talked about how debauched that Hollywood was.
Okay.
And thing I remember about that book is that he actually was encouraging bringing back censorship, like Cold War censorship.
Perfect.
Like that eliminated violence, swear words, sex. And you know what one of his reasons was besides morality?
What?
One of his things was that he thinks that movies and TV shows would get more creative if there were more censorship and restrictions.
If you remove basically any ability for your audience to develop empathy for your characters.
He basically thought like, well, kids, if they don't, my Ben Shapiro impression.
I'm getting that.
Well, if they don't allow people to say fucking movies or see them like having blood orgies and that, then they'll have to think a way to go around it. That would make movies more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was his big idea in this fucking book.
Big brain Ben Shapiro.
And this was around like the time like my final year of high school. I wrote like a farewell column.
Mm-hmm.
I listed off all the things, people I wanted to thank. That included like both IRL friends and like influences. I put fucking Ben Shapiro in there.
Yikes.
So like
somewhere out there, dude, this document exists.
It does, unfortunately. So I don't know, if you go back in time to like Alpena High School and look up, I don't think they even have a journalism class there anymore, so I imagine they tossed out everything. But you'll see a column where I'm thanking Ben Shapiro alongside Ernest Hemingway and Jack London.
Wow.
No, it's always cathartic when I reveal this, by the way. Kind of like when I also revealed that one time I was such a big Limp Bizkit fan that I legitimately thought Fred Durst was a better rapper than Tupac.
Jesus.
I know.
Yeah.
I sucked when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm old and fat.
I think old man Fred Durst is as equally creepy as young man Fred Durst, but like almost better on television.
Have you heard their new single?
I have not.
Dad Vibes.
I have not.
It's good.
I have not.
And there's actually kind of like a new underground resurgence of new metal right now.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
So
like the nostalgia piece, it's timed right. Yeah.
It's
like 20 years ago.
So Limp Bizkit is kind of like getting back in there and become like, I guess you say, forefathers or. God, there's a term.
It's a meme thing, dude. I think
partially a meme.
Yeah, but also like a bunch of dads that had a bunch of money now.
He looks like a dad now,
right? Well, I mean, their audience though is also that. Like, if you were 20 years old in 1999,
no, and there is legitimately like young people doing new metal in some way. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're also combining with like trap and SoundCloud rap. Okay, but it's cool, there in some way.
I need to start paying attention to SoundCloud. I haven't opened that up in a while, man.
Yeah,
I used to do all that electronica stuff and like. I haven't even checked any of that in a while, dude. I wonder if anyone's listened to it. THC.
I know, folks. Before, when Zach and I were doing some business stuff, I took a glimpse at his Spotify list. He has a dedicated playlist of dubstep 2009 to 2012.
It's true. It's a playlist I follow.
Which is funny because those were like the years I spent here in Kalamazoo. So.
Yeah, man. Well, it was a fun time.
I know.
It was a drunk time for me,
I know.
Dude. I spent a lot of those couple of years passed out on dance floors to dubstep.
Yeah. Rest in peace, PBR Palace.
Sure.
Anyway,
I never went there, but I agree. I'll back up what he says.
Anyway, back to this piece. Benny Shapiro. By the way, I mentioned like he was a neocon and culture wannabe. That's why it shocked me over these past few years how he's become like an alt-right icon, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's known for like facts and logic. Debate me, you coward. That kind of guy.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of shocking the way that he's turned out. It's like, I remember back when you were this fucking neocon dweeb. Now here you are trying to quote unquote debate people. Or even funnier was that he lives in Texas. I think he lives in Nashville now, where he's doing like a lot of shit where he's dressed up like a cowboy.
Wonderful.
It's hilarious. But he lived in California for years with his family. Him and Adam Carolla actually went on like the floor of the California Senate, I think. And they actually gave a presentation about the effects of cancel culture. Which I'm like, which was also a shock too, because I think in the same book I mentioned about Hollywood, he railed against the Man Show, which Adam Carolla was a part of. So I'm like, wow, what changes the decades bring? You were railing against guys like Adam Carolla back then, but now here you are teaming up with them, talk about cancel culture.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think of that guy as a performance artist more than I do as a journalist.
They're totally performing. But
he and a bunch of them, really.
Oh yeah, like. Okay, so for the 20th anniversary of 9/11, I want to read you this piece.
All right.
And you can still look this up, folks. I looked it up. I'll post a link in the notes of this episode. It's one of my all-time favorite columns because this is so hilarious, especially in hindsight. It's called The Greatest President of the 21st Century. And it's about how great George W. Bush is.
The 21st century was like 4% complete at the time of this publication.
No, okay, like I said, this was back in October 2004. Yeah. So we're October now, so it's been well over a decade. You, Zach, and you fellow audiences, just keep in mind everything that happened with the Bush administration. Remember 9/11? Remember the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq?
Oh, but Garrett, it was so long ago. I just don't want to think about the past and dredge up all those old memories and feelings.
Yeah, gotta keep going forward.
Gotta keep moving forward. Keep my eye on the prize. Stay synergized.
Yeah, the past is gay. Don't worry.
All right.
Anyway,
I digress.
So anyway, just keep all this in mind as I read you this.
Okay.
Because it'll bring much hilarity.
I've been staring at this text chunk.
You almost spoiled it.
I did. I hinted at it. We're trying to create.
Here we go. October 27th, 2054.
Oh boy.
Alrighty, you can see how great Ben Shapiro is doing because he's taken a science fiction literary advice, and is placing it in the future.
50 years. Just stick it out there.
In the year 2000.
I wish I had wind chimes in here or something.
I wish I had a soundboard. So I can actually do shit. I gotta get that. Maybe next year.
There you go.
Season 5 of GSP. Anyway, October 27th, 2054. It was a tragedy worthy of Shakespeare. A man of strength. A man of courage, a man of God risked his life and his presidency to protect his nation and the values for which it stood. And the nation, blinded by its worship of tolerance, led astray by a barrage of hate, looked instead to a shyster and a weakling for guidance. George W. Bush was the finest president of the 21st century. He took office in the crucial 2000 election, the election marking the beginning of the end of the American representative democracy. Immediately denounced as a conservative radical and an unelected dynastic pawn, Bush stepped into a situation fraught with peril. A recession had begun after the illusionary prosperity of the 1990s internet bubble unexpectedly burst. A decade of defense and intelligence slashing had sliced national security to the bone. The administration of Bill Clinton, marked by a tendency toward tolerating immorality and bashing traditionalism, had left America profoundly vulnerable. Now here's a few things in there. Now you remember the 2000 election, highly contested. Mm-hmm. And still contested to this day.
Indeed.
I'm one of the people that believe it got stolen.
Gore won.
From good old Al Gore. And Al Gore just bitched out of it.
Yeah, he did.
He could have fought, but he handed it to Bush.
Yeah, he went on to fight a sort of noble fight for climate change awareness, but that guy just really faded away into the pines, didn't he?
Yeah, actually, Michael Moore produced a documentary called Planet of the Humans. And one of the things that they bashed mainstream environmentalists, one of them was Al Gore. Basically, for advocating methods that don't work. And of course, just making money off there.
Yeah.
Making tons of money. Not like enough to live on, but like lots of money.
Speaking engagements and all that stuff, yeah.
There is something here. He mentions that, the internet bubble unexpectedly bursting, defense and intelligence being slashed by Bill Clinton. That's actually kind of true. And that's kind of been one of the reasons why you think 9/11 happened, because Clinton was aware of Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. And it's like, okay, whatever. So there is kind of a point there.
All right.
But then he gets into tendency towards tolerate immorality and bashing traditionalism. And
you ducked the lead line of this awful article. Please read the first line of this article.
It is a tragedy worthy of Shakespeare.
You said that?
Yeah.
You did? I don't think I recognized the audacity of opening this piece of journalism with that statement.
You think I made that up on the fly?
No. I thought you didn't say it. I thought you didn't read the quote in its entirety.
No, that was the first
paragraph.
This is the second one we're talking about.
Okay.
But I'm about to say, that kind of goes back to the conservative thing where society's going to be brought down by immorality, drugs, people butt-fucking each other, people not believing in Jesus, rather than, shitty infrastructures or, imperialism or just neglecting large swaths of society.
Yeah.
Those are the real things, I think. Being the big radical socialist that I am, you're like, hey, you should pay attention to that. Like, no, butt-fucking's going to bring down America. Not all these people.
Leave the butt-fuckers alone.
Okay, as we continue. At first, few thought President Bush was up to the task, and many hoped he wasn't. Angered by Al Gore's election loss, the Democratic Party and mainstream media began demonizing Bush as an ignoramus. Even as Bush attempted to reach across the political aisle to create an education bill, his opposition claimed he was dividing America. Even as Bush stumped for badly needed tax cuts to reinvigorate the economy, his opposition claimed he was too hardline. Which, first of all, Bush, while not as outwardly bad as Trump, he still, told Dems to fuck off. That's all these Republicans do. They will never cross the line to help to come to a decision or anything. They will always just say fuck you. I mean, they're technically doing it now with the debt ceiling.
The world looks a lot different if you turn off your fucking television.
Yeah, and besides, think about everything in the 2000s, 9/11, the wars, Bush administration. Keep in mind what's going on now with the past Trump administration. See if you notice some things. Sound familiar. And then September 11, 2011. 2001, god damn it, 2011. 3,000 Americans dead in New York and Washington, D.C., and on an empty field in Pennsylvania. The specter of international terrorism leapt into the light. President Bush rose to the occasion. President Bush realized that September 11th was a symptom of a grave disease, terrorism inbred with Islamic fundamentalism. America went to war. The Taliban, an evil regime paralleled only by Cold War communist dictatorships and Nazi Germany, quickly fell to the American forces. Men and women voted, little girls went to school, and the U.S. troops hunted Islamist terrorists. I just want to keep, if anyone doesn't remember, the past 2 months, we ditched Afghanistan, now the Taliban rule again. So you can tell they fell quickly to American forces.
We're not dealing with Nostradamus here.
Oh, God. Fuck Nostradamus. I fucking hate reading his predictions.
Why is it so ambiguous?
Just like with the mains, too. I'm so sick of them saying, like, Nostradamus predicts end of the world. Well, first of all, he's been doing it for 20 years now.
Yeah.
And every time...
And he did it from 300 years ago.
Yeah, it's always some bullshit like a big metal machine will roam the fields.
Yeah.
You talk about tanks. Okay. But the American opposition didn't sleep. Bush's critics began calling for more humane approaches to terrorism. Eager to revive the Vietnam era, Bush's opponents began referring to Afghanistan as a quagmire, quote-unquote, quagmire. Most vicious, a few choice opponents started impugning President Bush's patriotism, implying that he had known about September 11th and allowed it to happen.
Hold on. So are we still in his theoretical
future?
His theoretical future. So the president is still George Bush in the theoretical future?
No. This is Ben Shapiro in the year 2054. He's a cyborg fighting the liberal super mutants.
Okay.
And this is him taking time off to write about the great George W. Bush, who has long been disposed. You would get to that in a sec.
Okay.
But yeah, calling for more humane approaches to terrorism. Well, you have to keep in mind, there's all the war crimes that went on in Afghanistan and Iraq, both due to our military and contractors, aka mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go over them. Just listen to various military podcasts like Lions Led by Donkeys. They will detail some of the wonderful evil things that we've done, in our humane treatment of the people of Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also find it funny that, him talk about how they implied that, Bush knew about 9/11 and let it happen. Which is funny because that's also a right-wing position now. It's become more prominent now. That he did 9/11, both as a serious thing and as a meme.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how Ben Shapiro feels.
Both as a serious thing and a meme. This is like a complete analysis of modern journalism.
Yeah.
It's both a real thing and a meme.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what?
I mean, whenever you hear about George Bush, it's always about him doing a terrorist attack or doing 9/11.
Yeah.
That's all I ever see about
or
it. Or
painting.
Yeah, that was early.
Yeah.
But now...
That's so 2008.
Yeah, but...
Wait, he was still president.
He's still painting, I think. But yeah, so it's funny now. So it's funny back in 2004, Benny Shapiro was just pissed that they dare say that Bush let 9/11 happen. But now it's a common belief.
Yeah.
And even among Shapiro's right-wing base, they believe, he let it happen.
Wow. I'm glad that I have you to provide me with this knowledge I would never have.
Thanks. Gee, thanks. President Bush recognized the defenselessness of American society to the threat of terrorism and secured virtually unanimous congressional approval for the Patriot Act. President Bush's Attorney General, John Ashcroft, used the Patriot Act to nab terrorists before they murdered Americans. Still going on, by the way. We still have a Patriot Act that basically gives, I believe the NSA and the FBI and other secure intelligence agencies free reign to just, what's the word? Tap your phones.
Yeah, wiretap. Espionage.
Espionage. Look into your library records. Look into your bank account. It's still there. Yeah. A lot of people were bitching then that, hey, this is unconstitutional and really fucking creepy, but they just let it happen. That's very true. Democrats and Republicans are like, fuck yeah, Patriot Act. Let's do it.
There are a lot of strange things happening these days with people being required to do things that they normally wouldn't be required to do in order to do things that most people do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yet Ashcroft was called an Ayatollah, a peeping Tom.
A peeping Tom.
Democrats who had voted for Democrats
to multiple pages, you guys. Listen to this crinkle.
Well, it's 2 pages.
Keep going.
Democrats who had voted for the Patriot Act now condemned it as a blot on American freedom. Even as they claimed that President Bush wasn't doing enough to ensure homeland security, the Democrats decried racial profiling and anti-terrorist surveillance methods. Yeah, by terrorist surveillance methods, they mean like send FBI agents into like mosques and try to get people to say like, yeah, we should bomb this, and then arrest them.
Demonetized.
No. I'm not advocating for it at all. I'm saying this is actually true shit.
This is a quote.
No, this shit actually happens. I remember even one, like, God, I don't even remember the whole incident, but basically a local Muslim community had, like, some guy who was just so radical and trying to, like, rile people up, and, you know, they reported him to the FBI, and it turns out he was an FBI agent.
Well, that's a fun story.
So, yeah, these anti-terrorist surveillance methods that they talked about is just that, like, you know, sending in shitheads to rile up people while they, like, look at your library rental list and that. And probably your internet history and that, too. Oh, by the way, he mentions, you know, in a bad way, the Democrats decry racial profiling. Well, yeah, because it's bad. You shouldn't racially profile people. It doesn't really do anything. Of course, I should also mention that Ben Shapiro is a Zionist and pro-Israel, and he hates Palestinians and just Muslims as a whole. Like, he's written about straight up saying how much he hates them and how he wishes we could waste them all and that. So keep that in mind when he bitches about Democrats decrying racial profiling.
Yeah.
Because he won't get racially profiled, that's for sure.
Yeah.
President Bush realized that dismantling the Taliban was only the beginning of a worldwide fight. The debate turned to Iraq, where mass murderer Saddam Hussein was connecting with global terrorism and actively seeking weapons of mass destruction. Bush told Hussein to provide proof of complete WMD disarmament. When Hussein refused, Bush ordered him removed from power with the help of over 30 allied nations. Within weeks, Hussein was off his throne. Thousands of Iraqis were tearing down his fascist monuments, and a constitutional democracy was being instituted.
This didn't age well.
Yeah, a lot of that didn't happen. Saddam was not really seeking that. He was actually enemies with Al-Qaeda and bin Laden. He did provide UN inspectors to come in and look around. They found nothing, and Bush just screamed fake news. Okay, not that exactly, but like an early version of fake news. Mm-hmm. And help of over 30 allied nations. And keep in mind, the 30 allied nations were like our close buddies, like, you know, England, or like little nations that, like, I don't know, provide a tank or two. The big ones like France, who just refused, then we demonized them to the point where we were thinking of renaming our shit Freedom Fries.
Yeah, I remember that blip in time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or, you know, well, if it wasn't for us, they'd be speaking German right now.
Whew.
Great.
Oof.
Still to this day, people, whenever you mention France, think they're pussies, which is really ironic, because whenever something goes down with their social structure they don't like slashing benefits, for example, they will riot there.
Yeah, take right to the streets.
Whereas us, I don't know, most thing we'll do is, like, have a protest prayer circle and let the cops beat the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, folks, keep that in mind whenever someone calls the French pussies. Anyway. Yeah. Hussein was off his throne. Thousands of Iraqis were tearing down fascist monuments. Which is true. They were tearing down Hussein monuments.
Yep.
Yeah, think about it now whenever we tear down monuments, mostly like Confederates or like Christopher Columbus. Mm-hmm. He decries this, by the way. What about our heritage? We won't learn about it unless we have statues about it. Statues that with taxpayer dollars have to be maintained.
Mm-hmm. And lit.
Yeah.
Had the pigeon shit cleaned off them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So black folks, if they don't like Confederate statues being there because Confederates suppressed them, well, too bad. You got to keep up that history, and we got to use your tax dollars to take care of it. Can't give you any money though for food.
Right. There's none of that in the budget. Feeding our people.
Yeah. Fuck feeding.
Letting them go to the doctor when they need to go.
Yeah. Fuck feeding. We gotta keep the fuck providing benefits and rightful reparations to the indigenous community. We gotta keep this Christopher Columbus statue up. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and go to space.
Oh yeah, but don't worry, Jeff Bezos is doing that. Millionaires are leading the way. As Gil Scott-Heron once sang, but why he's on the moon?
One sci-fi action hero at a time.
Yep. Surprisingly, what's his name? He played Captain Kirk.
Yeah, William Shatner.
Yeah, he went there.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, I didn't hear any hopes that he get blown up.
No, some people said stay there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Because I remember when Bezos first launched into space, we were all like, blow up, die. They make memes of like old-timey pictures of like a family sitting down in front of a TV with popcorn with like Bezos dies in explosion.
Right? Can we charge Jeff Bezos an $8 billion Earth re-entry fee? Like we kicked you out, bitch. We locked the gate behind you. You're not allowed back. You got to pay up.
Yeah. Anyway, the constitutional democracy was being instituted. That's been weighing over the years. I mean, sometimes they're more free than other times. They're like kind of like a semi-puppet government to the U.S. now.
But the Iraqi government remains a government.
Oh yeah,
right?
it still is. Yeah. It's still around.
As opposed to what happened in Afghanistan.
I mean, technically, it's a government.
It is a government.
But unlike the one in Afghanistan, they're not going to like bow to American demands.
Yeah.
All right. For Bush's opposition, this was the last straw. Weeping over supposed violation of international law, Democrats who had approved presidential discretionary use of force in Iraq now decide once again that they had been deceived. And so they slander Bush as a warmonger and a traitor. They in their vile ilk claim that Bush was a shill for Saudi oil. Their presidential candidate, John Kerry, derided Bush as a liar, even as Kerry himself refused to answer straight questions about either his record or his political opinions. Bush and his family are connected to the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say.
And to be fair, every president is a shill for Saudi Arabia, along with Israel.
Yeah.
We will support them no matter what. For that sweet oil and, of course, all that power that they give us in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. So, to be fair for that.
And access to the waterway, the Strait of, what is that one? Oh, man. The one, Saudi Arabia and Iran. There's a waterway between them.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's like a constriction point for oil access.
Yep. And on our here, Kerry himself refused to answer questions about his record or political opinions. Yeah, that was kind of true. And I also remember SWIP Vote Veterans for Truth.
Yeah.
Which was basically this position that John Kerry was a anti-war coward. It was like, if you look back at the Vietnam War, yeah, that actually makes him a hero.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yep, that paper trail exists.
Huh.
I mean, stack that up with Bush. Like, didn't he get kicked out for being high on cocaine? I mean,
I don't think he got kicked out, but he got in trouble for it.
Yeah, he got reprimanded.
Yeah.
I just love this cocaine.
That's a good impression, actually. All right, we're nearing the end here.
All right.
The pounding took its toll. Kerry, the perfect embodiment of leftist hatred for George W. Bush. fulfilled his lifelong ambition. And, like Winston Churchill, Bush was unceremoniously thrown from office. So we're keeping with, like, the future narrative here. In this alternate reality, Kerry fucking won and throws Bush from office. Which is funny because in the real world here, Kerry got fucking stomped.
Yeah, so this is 1 month before the 2004 election when this article was being written. Okay.
Yeah. So it was deserving too because Kerry fucking sucked.
Yeah, man, this is hyperbolic as fuck.
I know. But in this future, Kerry won and just turned into a shithole. Unlike Bush in his second term or Obama or Trump or Biden now. No, they're all doing such great jobs.
You wonder if this guy gets like drunk at night and like reads his old material just like
I doubt it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go say I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that has like brought this up in well over a decade. Me, Garret Schuelke, here on this podcast.
You heard it here.
The rest is history. Faith in American republicanism has been undermined by candidates who will not acknowledge the legitimacy of majority Democratic results. What does that remind you of? America has been plagued by a sporadic but regular and devastating pattern of terrorist bombings and killings. The public, lacking a clear moral system, flounders for a vision, and it calls for the most convenient solution: more government. God, there's another thing I just don't get about conservatives, along with their whole traditionalism, morality thing. Mm-hmm. Like, what do they think more government involves? Like, he talked about his support of, like, racial profiling, anti-terror surveillance methods. He talked about his support of basically imperialism, invading other countries and taking them over.
It's going to require a lot of stormtroopers. Those guys all get paid by the federal government.
That's all big government. You need big government for that shit.
To enforce that shit,
That's why, like, I really don't pay attention or respect the whole small versus big government thing. Yeah. It's all bullshit. There's too many contradictions in them, and it's a waste of time to be like, well, we need small governments. Well, no, you're keeping the same shit. 50 years ago this week, President Bush said that the true history of my administration will be written 50 years from now, and you and I will not be around to see it.
History will vindicate me.
You can't be vindicated the vindicator.
You can't vindicate the vindicator
when
he's the vindicatee or the vindicated.
Now, in 2054... I only wish I could go back and convince Americans to recognize George W. Bush's greatness when they had the chance. Boom.
Mic drop.
Yep.
Wow, what an article, dude.
Which, by the way...
This is content. Yep. This is real content.
Which, by the way, one more thing I want to point out about the whole big government thing. He mentions, America is plagued by regular terrorist attacks and killings. The public lacks founders for a vision. And it calls for more government. Mm-hmm. Well, wouldn't that kind of be a solution, though, to, like, terrorist attacks? I mean, government coming in and stopping it? Because clearly not having it is kind of being a problem. You would think that would be a solution.
Yeah.
So, like, no, we need less government as something blows up because there's no one to stop it.
Benny.
There you go. Ben Shapiro... October 27th, 2004, the greatest president of the 21st century at townhall.com. Look it up, folks. It's a hilarious column. I love it. Fuck.
Man, that was content.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You enjoy that?
Yeah. Article reads. I like this whole, like, digging into the past of, like, modern controversial figures, finding their writings and then dissecting them on the podcast. I think this is a great turn.
Yeah, this was about as fun as the last one where I read you that weird libertarian guy who said, like, Donald Trump, you are still president. And he listed all the ways that you're still the president, technically.
Why, man? What a world we live in these days.
Yeah. Well, bet a few are things in my personal life if you'd like to hear them.
Carry on.
Well, actually, what time is it? Because I know you're...
Oh, it is now 16:11 on the clock.
16:11?
Yeah, it is 4:11. Yeah.
The evil version of the band 311.
Yeah, we'll have to have a break at some point, but
yeah, we'll see.
We can carry on.
Speaking of evil, have you ever seen like these evil memes, musician memes as they've been calling them?
No.
Basically, they're memes where like you take like an evil version of that band and it's like, usually like a lyric, and it's like the exact opposite of what they've actually sing or they believe. And I've been loving these, and I've made quite a few this week. If you would like to see them.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Man, I just share so much these days. Here's one. Like, you heard Killer Mike, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, you ever heard his song Reagan?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think I've heard any of his music, actually. I just know who he is.
Oh, man, you should listen to it. It's like one of his most well-known singles. And he has, like, the famous line at the end where he says, "I'll say 4 words, I'm glad Reagan dead." Now, my meme, evil Killer Mike be like, "I'm sad Reagan dead." I got a few more, like, evil anal cunt be like, subject of song is straight. For those who don't know, Anal Cunt was a shitty grindcore band by this piece of shit named Seth something. And yeah, most of his songs was about something being gay or whatever, like, you know, like Limp Bizkit is gay, or you live in a houseboat because you're gay or something. Or one of my personal favorites, you broke into a sperm bank because you're a cum-guzzling homophobic slur.
Wow.
And here's one that I didn't make, but like, evil minor threat be like, I smoke, I drink, I fuck.
That one's good.
Yeah.
That is really good. I like that one.
Yeah. God, here's another one. It's a different type, but like, someone took this, like, oh, guys, going for the jukebox.
Yeah.
The first one I saw was like, he was wearing a fish shirt.
I think that's the original, yeah.
Which, yeah, stop that fucking guy.
Yeah, well, I used to do that stuff all the time. I'd play 10-minute Opeth songs at the fucking jukebox. I am that guy, dude.
You fucking monster.
Yeah, Grateful Dead jams. Oh, yeah, I did the whole thing.
Dude, I'm doing an evil Grateful Dead meme tonight. No one's gonna be like, no one's gonna say.
2-minute songs.
No, evil Grateful Dead be like, the box of rain will increase the pain instead of ease the pain. Mm-hmm. Now you're kind of getting what they mean here. Mm-hmm. Or my favorite, evil Dead Kennedys be like, let's worship the landlord.
Nice. That's good too.
Evil Daniel Johnson be like, true hate will find you in the end. Oh wait, someone made this. Evil Seinfeld be like, a show about everything. Oh, good. He's going for the jukebox. Mustard Plug beer song.
I think I saw you post that one.
All right, and that's all the ones I made for now. I'll probably make some more later, like the Grateful Dead one that I just mentioned. Leftover crack. I'm gonna put like, fuck yeah, World Trade.
Fuck yeah, World Trade.
Dude, I'm just going to finish it tonight because, like most memes, it's probably going to die out in another week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we move on to the next topic, I just got to show this one. Just read it, Zach.
People who refuse to shit in public bathrooms are gross. Like you're just walking around with a bunch of turds inside you. That's nasty as hell. This one took a turn on me. I didn't know where this was going. Why would you walk around with turds in you? Just poop.
Because you don't want to shit in a public bathroom.
It's hard to find a place to poop. It's true.
Oh yeah. And that's why homeless people will say do it in the street, and then Republicans will bitch about it.
Yeah.
Even though there's no place for them to go.
Yeah.
That would be a solution, but we can't have that.
Right. What if we just used kitty boxes everywhere on the corners?
No, how about we
then big government paid to have sanitation workers come by and change the litter boxes.
How about we take the real Republican solution and just kill them all?
Right, or put the uncomfortable park benches and like the concrete spikes underneath overpasses.
God, fuck those things.
Yeah, dude. What kind of savage fucker does shit like that?
You know what? Official GSP's position. If you see that anti-homeless stuff, fucking wreck it.
Yeah, dude, sledgehammer.
Obviously do it in a way you don't get caught. I'm not advocating you get arrested, but...
Certainly not.
If you can, destroy that fucking shit, because fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
That's your taxpayer money going for that bullshit. Or you could do what the city of Kalamazoo's done recently with their homeless population. Destroy their camp and then tell them they have to get out of town by sundown.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, that's effective. Nice.
Not joking here, folks. This is actually happening as we speak right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's just fucking wow. I mean, get out of town by sundown? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's some Wild West shit. That's the type of thing
That's
that
not
you
any
say
that's not any Wild West. That's like pre-civil rights era.
Yeah.
Redline shit.
Yeah.
This is flabbergasting.
It is, man. There's very little compassion.
The city government of Kalamazoo is just hot garbage. The only good person I could think of in there is maybe Don Cooney. That's it.
Agreed.
He's basically like the Bernie Sanders of Kalamazoo.
Old Man Cooney's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I like that guy. I've met him a few times. He's fun.
Same here.
Yeah.
God, bring back the other mayor.
Oh, Bobby Hopewell?
Yeah, bring him back.
He was awesome, dude. He was mayor for like 20 years.
Yeah, instead of Dave Anderson.
That guy sucked. He was vice mayor for the same amount of time, though.
Wait, he was vice mayor?
Pretty sure.
God damn it.
Yeah. Yep.
No, don't bring Bobby Hopewell back. God, I have a funny story involving former guest Andy Argo.
Okay.
Apparently he lived in... I'm not doing this justice. Andy, come back on the podcast.
Aw, Andy, come back.
Debate me, you coward. I'm kidding. I love you, Andy.
Of course.
So I'm butchering your story for this podcast, but one of his 4 houses, I forget which neighborhood he lived in. This was even before I met him. He lived in this, I guess, on the same block as Bobby Hopewell.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like a van at the time that was a bucket, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
To use an Insane Clown Posse Michigan term, bucket for shitty car.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out one day and he sees a note on his windshield, looks at it, and he says something like, "Get your piece of shit car off the road," and signed Bobby Hopewell.
Wow.
Which makes me almost not believe it, because like, if you're the mayor of Kalamazoo, why would you sign your name to such an incendiary note?
Yeah.
But no, I guess he did, and now it's one of the treasured possessions that Andy owns, along with like his football signed by Tommy Wiseau.
What a fella.
I love you, Andy. Come back on, dude. Anyway, it's been quite a week for me.
Okay.
Because now I have a new landlord.
Wow.
Oh, boy. I don't know. I think I talked to you about this before, but back in August, got a text from Lighthouse stating that they're selling the house.
Yeah.
And we had people come in and look at the house, the realtors and everything.
Yeah.
This went on for 2 months, and it was just so weird about it. Like, we'll have like 1 or 2 weeks of just like constant stream of shitheads come in. And they would ask you stuff like, what's the best thing about living here?
Yeah.
Or I would listen to like some of these realtors, and they'll say stuff like, "This would make a great place to put a desk." I'm like, wait, I thought you were looking for other landlords, not people that will take over the house and boot us out.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point where, like, whenever one was come, I would just peace out and let my other housemates deal with them.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't stand it. But then they would go some weeks where like we would get nothing, and either it be because of no one was interested in it, or one time there was like a deal but it didn't close. Then Lighthouse and I'll just say their name. Lighthouse Property Management, my former landlord. Fuck them, they suck. But they would do like strange things, like have like, hey guys, new fire alarm inspection. Like, wait a minute, didn't you already have one of these like a month ago? Why are you doing another one? Aren't you selling this place? And my favorite one is that they sent an email detailing how in January of next year they would be changing their payment methods so that we could no longer drop off like personal checks or money orders. And get this, the new thing that if we're still under them, this is what we would be doing next year. We would be doing online payments, all right, credit card, e-check, all right, or my personal favorite, and I can't really go into the full details of it because I don't want to bring it up on my phone right now, but basically you would pay them money, but not like, you go into the office and pay them cash and they give you a receipt. No. You gotta use this money system, which is similar to like Western Union or something. Not Western Union, something else I've never heard of. And as they described it, you could go to a location like a 7-Eleven, a Walgreens, or a Walmart.
Jesus.
And you pay them through that.
Wow.
Which sounds like a fucking money laundering
It
scam
does.
to me.
It does.
I'm like, I'm nearly a decade with you, and you want me to now pay my rent by going to a 7-Eleven? Jesus Christ. Well, we don't. And the final thing was, I came home like 2 weeks ago. Well, no. God, I'm getting my days mixed up. No, it was actually last month, like the final week of September. I come home and we have like one of these lock storage cases. You know how you put keys in them?
Key boxes, yeah.
Yeah, key boxes. Is that what they're calling them?
Yeah.
That's what kids are calling them these days. Strangely enough, I didn't know what they were at first because even though I've seen them all the time in Chicago.
Sure.
And I noticed that instead of being up against the wall like it usually is, it was like just on our front deck, wide open.
That usually means someone's in there.
Yeah, so I look at it, and both of our keys are still in there. The key to my unit and our neighbor's unit.
Wow.
And earlier in the day, they had an appraiser come in to, like, appraise the place.
Right.
So I text our realtor. I'm like, hey, does your appraiser know that they left the thing open like this for everyone to see?
Jesus.
My guess is that this motherfucker, because our Lighthouse did not keep it up. It's a shitty house in Heritage Hill, a very gentrified neighborhood. It's like one of the shittier houses. It's why I live there. I'm guessing he came in to appraise it, saw how shitty it was, and just like, fucking, and he just
left.
He just tossed the lock and then left in a huff.
Maybe that was the case.
That's what I imagine. I can't imagine like he just that, or like he just didn't care. Like, oh, I'm done. Puts the lock in, just tosses it. So I texted her. She's like, I am so sorry. I will make sure this never happens again.
Yeah.
And I will say this: the realtor, let's call her Stephanie. She's actually pretty nice.
Okay.
I try not to like displace my anger about this at her.
Sure. She is just a working professional doing her job.
Yeah. So, anyway, this week we finally got confirmation. We got a new landlord.
All right.
Finally, we are done with fucking Lighthouse. And I will say this for everyone. If you are moving to Grand Rapids, Kent County, or Southwest Michigan in general, I advise you avoid Lighthouse Property Management. I was under these motherfuckers' thumb for nearly a decade now. 8 years. And they fucking suck. Just some of the most callous, lazy assholes I can imagine. And the only ones I could think that are worse than them was some of the slumlords here in Kalamazoo who work in the Vine neighborhood to rip off students. So, get the second half here. Gotta watch that clock.
Watching the clock.
Anyway, the new guy, let's call him Billy.
Billy.
This is Billy. He apparently runs a thing called Grand Rapids Property Investments, which is exactly as fake as it sounds.
Yeah.
It does not actually exist because I tried looking up and can't find a thing about it. But the address that he gave for it is based in Ferndale, and it's a cafe in Ferndale. The number he gave us is his cell phone number, in which the voicemail box has not been set up yet.
Perfect.
And the email is the name of it, and Grand Rapids Property Investments. The 3 at the end at gmail.com.
Nice. Nice.
I have to say, this guy's been nice so far, but it's basically a one-dude operation as far as I can tell. Like, this motherfucker owns a cafe in Ferndale, and I guess he's like, well, if I can run a cafe, surely I can be a landlord.
Surely.
Yeah, so, and his first real challenge happened this past Thursday. Because I had to work overtime, unfortunately, at my shitty day job. And I get a text from my housemate saying, hey, we have no power in the house. And I looked at the consumer's power outage map, and there's no outages around here. I think that Lighthouse cut our power, and the new guy hasn't set up an account with the consumers yet.
Wow.
I was like, can you please email him, tell him to fix this? I'm like, I'm at work till 5. His number should be on the paper that he gave us. Like, oh, okay, I'll call him. A few minutes later, I've been having no luck, and I've been trying to call him repeatedly to annoy him. And he gave us a cell phone number. And I guess he figured out who she was, even though, I don't know, she emailed him yet to set up a direct deposit like I have. So he sent text her I'm aware of the situation, I'm talking to consumers right now. Because it turns out our neighbors below were talking to him. And then I think the power was out for an hour, and it came back on. So I get back, I talk to my housemate about the situation, and she actually talked to him Billy on the phone. And according to Billy, this is what happened. Lighthouse, I guess, told him this upcoming Monday is when they were gonna delete their account, I guess, with consumers on our house. He's like, okay, we'll have something set up by then. Lighthouse, I guess, on Thursday just said, you know what, fuck waiting, let's delete it now. And indeed they did, and we lost power for an hour.
Wow.
Lighthouse is one last fuck you, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And he told us, okay, I got it all set up, and I'm pretty sure I have it set up with the water and the heat. Keep in mind, he said pretty sure, so there is a possibility that our heat and water could be shut off, too.
Wow. Flawless execution.
Yep. And I thought that was the end of it this week, but no. Yesterday, Lighthouse did something that just shocked me to my core. I could not fucking believe it.
What's that?
I received a check in the email from Lighthouse reimbursing me for my rent that I paid. Because you see, I won't be doing it now because I'm now doing direct deposit, pay with my credit card. But for a couple of years now, I paid ahead so that if I couldn't pay right away on the 1st, then I could technically get away with it because I pay ahead. Nope, they gave me the money back, which shocked the fuck out of me because when we learned that I got the new landlord, I thought for sure that I would never get that money back. And indeed, Lighthouse has not replied to my email, of me asking them to get my money back. I was sure they would deny that I did it, gaslight me on it.
Sure.
Or say like, oh, Mr. Schuelke, we would, but there's this and that, so we're keeping the money.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they gave it back to me. Just shocked me that this immoral company would do something like that.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's the current saga going on with my new landlord. Hopefully he won't legally evict us next year. By legally evict, I mean jack up the rent so high that we gotta move out.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be coming.
No, actually, you want to take a break right now? Because
sure.
My voice is like really ragged. And there's one last thing I want to talk to you about that kind of like the Ben Shapiro piece and this story about a landlord. I'm going to have to like prepare.
All right.
All right, folks.
It's break time.
Be right back. All right, we're back. Final round of this podcast.
Yo!
An extended break. My voice is just ravaged. One other thing I want to talk about, another great thing this week, is that once again, I, as an indie writer, I have been bamboozled by another company. Yeah, tell me, Zachary, have you ever heard of Vertigo Publishing before?
No, I know the Vertigo comic book imprint.
Oh, my friend, this is vastly different than that legendary imprint that featured Swamp Thing and Hellblazer and Shade the Changing Man, among other things. No, this is vastly different. Vertigo Publishing House is a publishing house out of Italy. I forget where. And trigger warning, there's going to be a lot of Italian mispronunciations and probably some racism there. But that's cool now. Being racist against Italians is very cool right now. So I'm just going along with the trends. Yeah, so back in June, before I went on my New Orleans summer vacation, I received an email from Vertigo Publishing House from one of their representatives. And it turns out they wanted to possibly publish Golden Grey Wolf of Chicago in Italian.
Yay! Translations.
Yep. So they requested a PDF. Then they would give it 90 days to review it and get back to me. All right. I come back from my trip. I send them that. And time goes by. Until this week. And it's been more than 90 days. But yeah, so they sent me it. And apparently they would like to publish it. And before I get too far into the ending, let me just read you an email from their representative named Alessandra Caligari. The Caligari. Dear Garret, I'm writing to you because I met my coworkers from the press office and the distribution of the publishing house to discuss your book. Keep in mind, this is the first Golden book, Golden the Grey Wolf Chicago, available now. Well, it's been available the last couple of years. Yeah, keep in mind, this is a less than 100-page book, or shortly over, I forget which. They're key figures in order to evaluate a work. Every year, our press office guarantees the publication of more than 500 articles in the main English and Italian papers. Our distribution team follows all of our titles throughout the long and hard placement process, from warehouse to the reader's home. They both agreed to my opinion on your work. That's why we drafted a proposal that we think might best enhance it. First of all, though, I like to insist on the fact that it was a real pleasure to get to know you. Our exchange of impressions was really enriching. And no, I'm kind of like the reading series. I'm just going to read a whole and then go through it.
Sure.
Because I could just break it and just go over. But as you might have guessed by now, when I evaluate a book to publish, I only follow one rule. I am looking for clever books. As Cecilia said, the smart content offers to the reader an immediate, sometimes even conspirational comprehension. I have no idea what that means. Below you will find a link to the project we studied for you. It includes a summary of the editorial project for your work and a copy of your publication contract. It is also important for you to read the page to the end, as it includes 2 separate art sections. The first one is the editorial project of your work, while the second is the publication contract we would like to bring to your attention. Before the sections dedicated to your book, you will also find information on our publishing house. Please do not hesitate to contact me for any needs or doubts may come up. Alright, let's go over this for a second.
Alright, here we go.
He mentions that it's got a pleasure to get to know you, our exchanges. First of all, there's been none of that. The exchange is pretty much just them contacting me, then me replying positively, and then offering them my contact information, includes my address, my P.O. Box address, email, phone number. Yes, I gave out my phone number. And then
my phone number is 2695.
Stop. And technically, they gave me mine, they gave me theirs, by the way, which includes WhatsApp, Telegram telephone number. Telegram, which is basically the fascist version of Twitter. Mm-hmm. And also their Skype Live. So there's their Skype, man. Did I mention, too, that as my editor, I kind of also expect you to fight on my behalf? So
I'd be more than happy to.
So maybe getting ahead of ourselves, but since, spoiler alert, they tried to screw me over money-wise, I kind of want you to go on Skype with this person and bitch them out for me.
Wow, all right. We'll talk off podcast. Let's make this a professional task.
How dare you do this to my client?
You want to take advantage of my client?
Yeah. Now
internationally.
Now here I have I have the contract, like the actual contract. But the link that they have here, and this is kind of how I figured that this is a scam, is you see when I talk to someone and there's a publishing contract, this is why I get like we didn't do that with Hub Jamboree. It's just a gentleman's handshake. Mm-hmm. But I have known other publishing houses from other writers who got them published, and know what it was? Just a contract.
Yeah.
It had the information, had places to sign it, maybe like a logo or two of the company. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Sure.
What these people did was give me basically a presentation.
Yeah.
Like if there was if I was in the room with them, this is be like their slideshow projection project, and that is already goddamn, I'm blanking. Red flag. Because no other publishers do this. They do not give you a big fucking presentation because it's a waste of time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they and I tried to print it out too, by the way, but my printer just fucked up on printing it. So anyway, they give me like a big thing explaining their publishing house. They gave me an example of one of their newest writers, some Italian writer. He apparently wrote some that involved like one of the great painters, Italian Renaissance painters, some mystery about them. And guess what? Apparently, it's been hailed by the BBC, the writer, as the next Dan Brown. All right, Zach, you've dealt with a few of these before in the past, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know that these scammers, these publishing scammers, like to entice you in by bringing big names.
Sure,
like
yeah,
Dan
they'll
Brown.
name drop.
Yeah.
They'll imply that you'll get a bunch of results because maybe they have one success story that they paid for. Like, it's dangerous stuff, man. Yeah, a little anecdote about how they'll bring you great success, or how they'll only make money when you make money. Like, stuff like that is really,
all right,
really.
Now
big
I did
red flags.
So it gives me a bunch of that,
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of like pictures of the books that they supposedly published, along with like graphics of where they've gotten praise from, including, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, BBC. Which is funny, because I've never heard of these people until this year. So if it's on all these mainstream networks and shit, you think I would know. Anyway, here's the final end of the evaluation, which I was able to copy and paste onto a regular paper here. Evaluation Committee meeting for the day 10/13/2021. The planned study includes the translation, the placing on the market, and the promotion of the work, Golden, the Grey Wolf Chicago. The book showed us very interesting points for reflection. The salient features we identified were deepened during a telephone interview between the author, Garret Schuelke, and our reference person. Didn't fucking happen. I never talked to any of these people. So that's a fucking lie right there. Our reference person, who took care of the following path of work through the literary evaluation, Alessandria Caligari. Gotta do that. Caligari. God, fucking Italians. God damn it.
Heyo.
Greasy motherfuckers. You know that the reason why I'm so fat, Zach?
Why is that? Italian food?
Yes, Italian food is my favorite. So that's kind of why I'm a little prejudiced against Italians. You have made me fat with your excellent fatty foods.
Pizza is very
Pizzas
good.
And your
Spaghetti.
pastas and your raviolis. Cannolis.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Olive oil.
And now you're doing this to me. The Italians are trying to fucking...
They're trying to finesse some writer money out of you.
Have you no shame, Italians.
Trying to get all those proceeds from...
Yeah. Anyway, enough with the racism.
Golden, the Grey Wolf of Chicago.
Yeah, more like the Grey Wolf of ravioli.
the Grey Wolf of Roma.
God, that fucking bomb's so bad. I'm so sorry, folks. Okay, to enhance the book's diffusive potential, which, by the way, the use of big words here.
Yeah.
The editor outlined, in conjunction with the press office head of the distribution team, a high-impact promotional strategy, planning a series of targeted initiatives, including a presentation on TV, the international reputation for the book through the participation to national and international book fairs and intense press office work. Okay, so the way they did that is telling me a bunch of stuff they're going to do, and then a bunch of stuff that is just so wide open to interpretation. You have no idea what they're talking about. Like a presentation on TV. Okay, what TV? Like, what channels? How far is it going to go? No, intense press office work. What the fuck does that mean? Intense press office work? Participation to national and international book fairs. Okay, there you go. That's something. They don't name any specific, but there are book fairs. Mm-hmm. The contract includes, while counting on the... Here we go. This is where it just sealed the deal for me, that this was a fucking scam. The contract includes, while counting on the purchase of a fixed number of copies, the reimbursement of the paid contribution once 500 books are sold.
Yeah.
Then here he goes, the publishing proposal, summary contract terms. Translation and formal revision of the text. All right. No, that needs to be done since I don't know Italian. Mm-hmm. Critics note / preface. So they'll write a preface in my book. Okay, that's also legit. Mm-hmm. Talk about how cool I am.
Right.
What Italians will love.
This famous American author.
Garret Schuelke.
Garret Schuelke.
The next...
That's actually really insulting.
The next Jonathan Franzen, Garret Schuelke. Because, you got to compare me to a much more famous author. National distribution. All right.
In the nation of Italy?
No, national, so maybe. One presentation on TV. Just one.
At 3 a.m.
Just one.
In between porn shows.
Salone del Libro of Turin. I don't know what that means, because I can't... Because, you see, they do not speak American, so I can't read that.
Salone?
Piu Libra, Pure Libra of Rome.
I think these are libraries.
Oh, library, okay. Yeah. Of Rome, first I thought, like, is it going to be in the Vatican? Because I know they have a library. Matter of fact, they say it's the largest pornography collection in the world. Frankfurter Burschmesse.
I like hot dogs.
Yeah. London Book Fair. Okay, there you go. It's going to take place
Now,
in
there's some English. That is some words
London
I can
Book Fair.
understand.
Liber Book Fair, Barcelona/Madrid.
Yeah, those must be Italian book fairs then. Turin and Rome are cities. So
tell me, you've heard about the London Book Fair, okay? Have you ever heard the famous USA Book Fair?
No.
How can you not have heard the USA Book Fair? We live in the USA.
Right.
Surely you have heard of the USA Book Fair.
And last but not least, though,
the dedicated press office.
I mean, that's invaluable for
one press office just for me, for my little old book.
But how many copies of the book do you need to purchase in order to get paid?
Here we go. Copies that I would have to purchase for this. 250 copies. Cover price, I honestly don't know what they call, like, Italian money.
Right, well, I believe they use euros.
Oh, so it says $13.90, so I'm assuming this is like $13.90? Maybe?
They definitely and very intentionally don't use an insignia to talk about what currency they're referring to.
Yep. So
using the comma would lead me to believe euros, but I'm sure they mean.
So let's just say $13.
Yeah.
All right.
Or 14.
So then reimbursement of the contribution, which is, if I buy 250 copies of them for $13.90, they 500 copies would have to be sold for them to start giving me money.
Yeah, to start reimbursing. Yeah.
So, folks, fellow writers, come sit on Uncle Garrett's knee. let me tell you something. This is not what legit publishing companies do. They do not They do not demand first that you buy a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, especially like big major ones. Now they may like here with the Elmblad Media Group with Zach and that. Here with Zach, our arrangement to this day is that, I pay you for specific services like formatting, cover design, some editing, French kissing, stuff like that.
That one's the expensive one. That's a moneymaker.
Yeah, I know. You should lower that price. I really wish you would. But you see, those are specific services, and when you do it, you tell me the service you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're not like offering me the world, which is what these people are doing. Stuff that they say they're going to do, but they can't prove.
Yeah, or in essence, what they're going to do is they're going to have a little area set up at one of these book fairs, and they're going to have you in a giant list of other people that they've done this for, and your information will technically be available. They might even take a copy of that physical book and put it on a shelf in their display, but no one's going to actively try to sell it for you.
Yeah.
No one's gonna give you creative critiques. No one's going to handhold you throughout the process. They're going to take your text and then basically expect you to market it through these venues, and then they're going to charge you for the privilege of having done so.
Yeah, and you're going to be making the money for them.
Exactly.
Then,
if any money is made at all.
Yeah.
It's by them first.
Yeah, they're not expecting to make money off this. They want you to pay them to buy the 250 copies. And then if by some weird chance you make that magic 500 copies sold, they will give you money. Allegedly. Like, they don't expect that to happen. And I'm pretty sure that if it does get that, they will figure out some excuse to get around it, or they'll just ghost you. Which is what a lot of publishers, especially indie publishers, do. They'll just stop replying, or they'll say, like, sorry, we're out business.
Yeah.
So there we go. And so we got here the contract. Print it off. As you can see, it looks legit, right?
Yeah, there's a logo.
Now, we don't have to go over everything here because it kind of just goes over all that I just summarized and read. There are a few interesting things here, though. Now, it talks about here film rights. You know that? Mm-hmm. Film rights. Even if we don't hold the film rights of the work by virtue of this agreement, you immediately allow us to promote it with film production companies. An eventual pact will be subject to your approval to the proposed conditions and, as a consequence, to sign a specific new agreement.
Wow. That's some money laundering shit right there, dude. Now, imagine if you were a mafioso and you could pay somebody $250,000 for the rights to a movie, and then they could like begin production and then bankrupt it, and then that money would be reimbursed by insurance, and it would be cleaned. Yeah, that's interesting. That sounds like a money laundering scheme, an Italian money laundering scheme using United States authors, huh?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. And
noted.
Well. Okay, we got really ahead there at the bottom because, it's a film.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the top of it. Dear Garret Schuelke, as agreed by our exchanges, which didn't happen, we're sending you the publishing contract of your work, attaching a letter, which is an integral part of our agreement. By signing this agreement, you undertake to purchase 250 copies of your work.
Wow.
Which, by the way, they capitalize your work.
Yeah.
No other economic commitment must be supported. Each reprint or subsequent edition of the work is our responsibility. Isn't that nice of them?
What a kindness. Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if you get any proceeds. Carry on.
Nope, not until you get 500 copies.
Yeah.
Let's see.
At which you get paid which percentage? Because this is not a contract.
Yeah. Well, this is the contract, actually.
Well, that is what this document is labeled as, but it is not an actual contract.
But bro, look, there's something I could sign.
This is an agreement.
Yep. Which, by the way, they got more specific here rather than the summary. See, I will participate, among other things, in the International London Book Fair, the International Book Expo of America. Which I don't know if that exists or not, but it sounds...
That sounds like some DC bullshit. I believe it.
It sounds more legit than USA Book Fair.
Yeah.
And your work will be sent to the national libraries in Rome and Florence.
Aw, Rome and Florence. What about Turin?
Yeah, see, your work will be presented on our social TV, Consecor TV. Social
TV. So is that social media broadcast streaming television, or is that an in-house CCTV that gets broadcast only to the fucking company that you're talking, like the 3 office employees that are sending these fraudulent fucking emails?
Yep. The work, which by the way, a lot of this stuff they just capitalize for some reason.
Sure.
The work.
Right, it would be all capitalized, at least in U.S. legal
They should
documents.
just do all cap. The work.
The work.
The work will be presented on the editor's online bookstore. A dedicated webpage will be created. This will also be kept up to date by the editor with extracts of the press review, 1 literary prizes, audio/video content from the interviews and or events. And post-publication literary advice, because that's what I need, literary advice.
Post-publication, that's when you...
Report for your new literary prizes and contracts to which the work can be sent. So not only will I get paid after 500 copies are sold, I will win prizes.
Why would a translation team give you post-publication literary advice from a market that you don't even live in? That doesn't make...
Clearly, I, a dumb American, cannot... need this advice.
Is fucking fluff, dude.
All right, let's see about the other juicy bits. Because being me, of course, I didn't do something reasonable, like highlight the best parts.
Right. Well, yeah, any part that would be relevant, like a percentage or a number or a date.
Okay, and this is just a bunch of agreement shit that just says the same thing.
Legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, it says temporary edition agreement with attached letter between Garret Schuelke, resident of my P.O. Box 6871, Grand Rapids, Michigan 49516, Michigan USA, capital U, but lowercase SA, which is my P.O. box, folks. I encourage you to send fan email. fan email to the P.O. box.
Do it.
And the Vertigo...
Print your emails and send them in a self-addressed stamped envelope.
That's how we do it, man. And the... Really, folks.
He'll cut his pubic hair off and put it in the SASE.
Seriously, folks. Where's email or letters or comments? I love to hear from you.
Somebody write me a letter and send it to Garrett's P.O. box.
Care of. Hey Garret, love your work, but I like Zach better.
Yes, somebody who listens to this podcast that's not me or Garrett's mom, write a letter, write a fan letter for me, and send it to Garrett's P.O. box.
Oh sure, I'll get right on that.
Send one to Garrett too.
Okay, so anyway, they give my P.O. box address, and from now on, that addresses the author. I don't know why they... And Vertigo, blah, 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 which runs their office and their fucking address, Roma. From now on, the publisher. For the work, Golden Grey Wolf, Chicago. From now on, just the work. For some reason, like, I get not wanting to, like, repeat stuff, but my address is now just the author. They are now just the publisher. And the book they're selling is the work. God damn, you fucking people. Then blah, blah, mumbo jumbo. Oh, but here's a real juicy one. In the event that the work reaches 3,000 copies sold, the publisher undertakes to insert a graphic stamp on the cover with the words, thousands of copies sold.
Wow. Wow, what a treat.
They won't even put 3,000, just thousands sold. Blah, blah, bullshit. And now here is, you see, we talked about the pricing and, confusion over it. I guess euros?
Yep, euros.
Is that euros?
That's euros. Holy shit.
Hold
on.
Yeah, here's the copy order form. Actually, Zach, would you like to read the copy order form?
What the fuck?
Okay.
Will you get a calculator out? I already see where this is going.
All right.
Get your calculator app going.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. I got it.
Dear Garret Schuelke, by your choice, the 250 copies of your book at the cover price of €13.90 for a total amount of €3,475 will be purchased as follows. A single installment, the amount of €3,475 to be paid upon signing the agreement. In 3 installments. Okay. All right. Here, first of all, do 3,475 divided by $2 divided by 250.
250.
Yeah.
All right. That's $13 and
$13.90. Okay.
$13.90.
Yeah, €13.90. All right. Now do 3,475 divided by 3.
$1,158.
Okay. Now do 3,475. Hold on. Okay. Do 3,000. I'm sorry. 347.50.
347.50
times 9.
Wait. 34,700.
No.
Okay. I told
347.50.
So
times 9.
Times 9. $3,127.50.
That's actually a savings passed on to you, friend, if you decide to do it over the course of 9 months paying them. Jesus, dude.
Either way, these motherfuckers want me to pay them
the cover price of your book.
Yeah, of €3,475. Basically, over $3,000.
Yeah.
For
3.5 grand.
For 250 copies of their of my book in Italian.
What is now convert? I'm gonna currency convert.
Yeah, you got the Yeah, I just have a regular calculator. You got a currency converter.
Yeah, well, I mean, Google's okay with it too. We're just gonna do 3,475.
We don't need to show them the respect of getting like an accurate
euro to USD. Today, that would be 4,000 US dollars. $4,000. They want you to write a check to a company that you've never face-to-face met before for $4,000 to publish your work and buy 250 copies that you won't be able to fucking sell. And like, dude, what do you do then? Send it to Italian Amazon? What? Are you kidding me? Like, they don't talk about distribution in here at all. They just talk about where they're going to put it.
They do, but they will send it to the USA Book Fair.
Right? What about the copies that you do sell? Are you getting a percentage? Are you getting the cover price? That's not enumerated in here at all.
No, you see, when I sell when 500 copies are eventually sold, I will get back reimbursement for the 250 that I bought. Then the royalties will start coming in. So then I'll get my $4,000 back plus the royalties that come in.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound good? Does that sound like a possible thing to happen?
Jeez, dude.
So yeah, once again, thank you, Vertigo Publishing House of Roma, Italy. Thank you, Alessandra Caligari. Once again, you are fucking scammers, fucking piece of human garbage like you is one of the reasons why I self-publish.
Yeah, dude.
Because of fucking crap like you. Fuck you and fuck any other scammers like this. You are a bane on publishing existence. You make writers' lives worse.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
And realistically make writers quit, too.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the type of shit that'll make someone quit, because they get all excited about it, and then all of a sudden they get all this shit, and they're like, what the fuck is this?
You're not even predators. That's too good of a word for you. You're fucking parasites.
Yeah, I mean, you're ruining the careers of what could be potentially valuable artists if you would just nurture their creativity and allow them space to create the work that made them, like, worthy of pursuing your representation to begin with. Like, yeah, dude, this is trash. This whole fucking concept is trash. Like, I would never do some horse shit like this. I would never put my fucking imprint on it. I would never allow it to happen. Like, if my management staff decided to pull some fucking horse shit like this to try to get new talent or to try to, like,
that's the thing.
bully people into money laundering.
Well, that's the thing.
People,
it's all a scam. It's not a legit publishing house. It's all lies.
Right.
But they probably just made up some of this shit. Like, the guy who got his fucking mystery... Renaissance painter novel, who's the new Dan Brown.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't exist. They probably just made up that shit.
Right.
There and then.
I mean, dude, fortune favors the bold on this shit. Like, if somebody wants me to do something for them, and it's in my wheelhouse, like my professional wheelhouse to do it for them, if they reach out, dude, I will get back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to go hunting for people like this. Like, as a publisher, like as a person who would publish material for you if you emailed me and asked me to do that for you. Like, that's a thing I could do for you.
Yeah,
exactly. Garrett, that's why Garrett's sitting in front of me right now. Like, that, if you want to do something.
And to be honest, just because you're just so handsome.
Oh, I know. He can see his reflection in my shiny head.
Hot.
Like, I as a business owner, I want to make money making you money. That would be the reason to publish someone economically, right? So you understand money needs to change hands, and this is really what they're capitalizing on, because it's like, who knows what a book publishing deal is? Well, there's a contract involved with a bunch of words on it that you don't necessarily understand, a bunch of numbers and percentages and huge numbers of books sold and units and percentage, net percentage this and all that fucking trash. They're going to throw together some random document about that, then give you an international bank account to just wire transfer money to. Like, dude, this is like one step above Nigerian scam. And you're right. Not only if it is a company, it's a shell company for some, 3 deep corporation shell in Italy, probably in an island like off of the coast of Italy that's a tax-free zone. Like, this is just so fucked up, dude. There's very little separation of this and like the Nigerian print scam used on people who have recently Google searched retirement communities. Like, if you Google search author, how to get my book published, this is the type of shit that you're going to start seeing coming into your fucking email.
Oh yeah, I've gotten these.
It's scary.
Before. I've gotten these before.
Yeah,
this one was a little more elaborate.
It was
like mainly because they weren't forthcoming with. Were like this, whereas other ones, and even other things, like I've gotten things for book reviews saying like, "Hey, I'm just reviewing your book. I reviewed books by Stephen King and Dan Brown.
Send me a copy and give me $500." Yeah.
Well, it's not even a copy. They're just like, "Hey, if you pay me this much, I will review your book. And if you pay me this much, I will review it this way. Pay me this much, I'll review it that way."
Yeah.
They will literally give you tiers of how much you can pay, of like what kind of review they'll do and what they'll distribute their review. It's a fucking scam.
Yeah, it's easy, man. It's easy.
None of these people are doing it for like the love of literature or because it's all fucking money. And I understand the need to make a living, but goddamn,
that's not making a living. Yeah, you're sucking off of society and the creative work of others. Like it's insulting to the art form in and of itself. It's so fucking frustrating. Dude.
Oh God, I'm waving my hands.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be goofing on this, but now I'm just enraged.
Yeah, stuff like this happens all the time, man. I mean, in my life representing painters and sculptors and all of that stuff, man, we put shows together and people come and they'll buy pieces or whatever.
Try to offer you the world.
Exactly. Everybody. Oh, you're gonna go so far. This is gonna be. That's just not the reality of things. Like, you need to have an insane work ethic if you want to make it to do anything. Like Garret, he writes consistently. He knows he's gonna want to publish a book at this time. He's gonna have it written before he decides he's gonna publish it. Right? Like, it's not a fucking fantasy. Like, it's a book. And it wants to be made into a published book. It's a manuscript. It wants to be carried all the way across the process,
and I would like to note too that, like I said, mention like buy this much books and then we will reimburse you over $500.
Sure.
Here's the thing though. Is a legitimate thing called writer's advance, where like a legitimate publishing company, like let's say Random House, will pay you in advance as you're writing that book to get that book.
Yeah.
And
the economic powerhouses.
And then you won't get money until, it goes above your advance. Like, I don't know, let's say $1,000, like a very small amount.
Yeah.
Stephen King gets $1,000 for his next novel. But then they'll pay him after, he makes well over $1,000 in his books, which is guaranteed because of how famous he is, for one. And two, they actually put the work in to like get books out there to bookstores and to get reviews.
Yeah, they're paying interns to tweet about it. Yeah, they're making phone calls.
Yeah, like they are legitimately putting in the legwork. These people say they are, whereas their only legwork is getting your shit into the USA Book Fair.
Yeah.
So they're taking the concept of like a writer's advance and then flipping it to like an impossible end.
Yeah, exactly. Making it so that you have to pay to play.
Yeah, pay to play.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, none of these writers are paying. If they're basically demanding that you pay money to get shit done, it's a scam.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in a grassroots type of sense. If someone's going to help you, they're going to help you. And money will come after the fact in the conversation. Like people need to get paid for their work.
Like it also poisons like legitimate writer services, like the one you provide me. Like, I know you're legit, obviously. I know your limits of what you can do.
Yeah.
But there could be like some writer out there who comes to Elmblad Media Group. You do their work. You do their work. No, you do the formatting, editor, all that shit. But then they get pissed because, you're not offering the world like they expect you to. We're like, I never promised that. Yeah, but this publishing house does this. Why not EMG?
Right, yeah, not me, bro. Yeah, I'll be straight up with people.
I'm actually surprised that hasn't happened to you yet.
Yeah.
Like, some person comes in and they're like, oh, well, you do this and that, right?
I mean, I've had a lot of interesting client relationships, man. You deliver exactly what you said you're going to deliver. And if you deliver less than that, then you either acknowledge it and make it right somehow, or you provide a discount and acknowledge it still.
You never had anyone be like, wait, why isn't my video getting more even though you edited it? Or
no, I make it really clear. I mean, if I'm going to turn around a video, it's in my invoices. Like, like, social media marketing is not my responsibility. Hosting is not my responsibility.
Okay, because there also is the belief that once you're published by someplace, it's all easy street. Which it is for some writers, but...
Yeah, I mean, even for, like, workaday writers, you still got to go show up to the speaking engagements. You got to lug the briefcase of books around and try to sell them and sign them. Like, that shit's... It might be underwritten by your publishing house, but you are the one that's going to have to get your ass out. Like, you're going to have to hire the publicist. They might pay for it, but it's going to be your responsibility to get that person and delegate the tasks.
Yeah, and that's what publishers like this do. They prey on the belief that once you're getting published by someone, you've made it. Yeah. And, well...
Not a fucking thing in this world comes for free, man. Nothing. And, like...
Yeah, even Stephen King has to work.
Yeah, totally. Legit. And he gets paid for his work.
Less than we do, yes. But, granted, he's also a complete writer freak.
Yeah. He lives it, man.
Yeah, he goes about it. Like, you ever see, like, the Family Guy special where they, like, parodied Stephen King's works?
No, I don't think so.
It's actually pretty hilarious, but they got a section where, the famous part where, like, Stephen King got hit by a van while he was out on a walk. Yeah. They showed him, like, getting hit by a van, and while midair being like, oh, this gives me an idea for a novel. Then he takes out his typewriter, writes it up, and says, done, before he hits the ground.
Yeah.
That's not far from the truth.
Yeah, he cranks the shit out, man. He is a producer.
So, even Stephen King has to work to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
So, official position of GSP. Fuck these scammers. Die in a fire.
Yeah.
Dude, I say we should probably end this.
Cool.
My voice is just ravished.
Cool, yeah, I gotta get to the next thing as well.
5:50, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, we made a late day today.
Yeah, I gotta get home, I gotta download some podcasts. Unfortunately, I'm feeling very disgusted right now because there's poop in my butt. As we established by that meme, it's a very disgusting thing to do.
Yeah, you can't just walk around carrying that.
Yeah, plus, I've been doing this since September when we began our holiday overtime early, but I have many things to cope with doing it, especially since I really can't write while working over 50 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is that I have a large movie collection. Some I got for gifts, some I thrifted or whatever. I gotta watch them all, so every night since September I've been watching a film.
Cool.
And at the rate I'm going, I'll probably be finished by the end of November, maybe beginning of December. So I'll have all these films watched by the end of the year. And since it's October, I've been watching all my horror films, thrillers, monsters, films. I don't know, tonight I think I'll watch VHS.
Nice.
Which, the first week of this month, I just went through all the Saw films, by the way.
Cool.
Except for the one that came out this year, because I already saw it in theaters. But yeah, an entire week of Saw films. I forget what it is. I think it was like Saw 6. It's my favorite one because the victim is a healthcare provider, quote unquote. He gets fucking tortured. Jack Elmblad, you have lived your life doing this and that. That's why I have this elaborate torture that will fuck you up even if you live. Live or die. Make your choice.
Make your choice.
Alright, dude. Promo time. Anything you want to promote?
Yeah, I actually do have something that I released since our last podcast. If you check my YouTube channel, Zach Elmblad, Or no, it's the YouTube. It's the Elmblad Media Group YouTube channel. I've been working on restoring a historic piano, and the first 2 episodes are up for your viewing enjoyment right now, and I ought to have the 3rd one up soon.
Yeah, I can't wait for the finale when you just start your Ben Folds tribute group.
And then you can also follow me on Facebook. I've been releasing some photo sets. I'll get back active with Instagram soon. That's Elmblad Media Group with underscores, and then my name, Zachary Elmblad.
All right, you know what it is. Garret Schuelke Podcast. Available everywhere. Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, blah. Check out my official website that I desperately need to update, garretschuelke.tumblr.com. I'm on Twitter more than usual now, at Garret Schuelke. That's where I post a lot of my photos and that too, because I was on Instagram for a sec. Then I got hacked from some dude from India.
Harsh.
Who friended 1 trillion people. Then eventually Instagram just banned me. Even though I took back my account.
Right.
So yeah, at Garret Schuelke Twitter. Schuelke Podcast on Twitter. And that's it.
All right.
Got my voice. Oh yeah, big announcement too, since 2 months from now. Anamaki, 5th anniversary edition. Coming out in December. New cover, restored text, special introduction from ya boy, bunch of other shit. My greatest novel so far. Check out the new edition of it. And that's it.
Yeet.
All right, folks, we're done. Zach, thanks for being on.
My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Here is the outro song. That's not it, but yeah, here is the actual outro song.
You play guitar.